I'm the Reaper029, and yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the PS5 because I tried to do this just a second ago, so I've already got this on my mind. Um, but I realized that I've never genuinely rated the console that I do all of my streaming and whatnot on, so I thought I'd go ahead and do that. Talk about what I like, what I dislike, and definitely some things that Sony could definitely improve, not just for, mainly working on what I've heard, which I'll get into that in just a second. But, so, overall, what do I think of the PS5? It's a great console. It's fun. The graphics are great, paired with a nice TV or monitor of, whatever your fucking preference is, dude. Whatever your preference is. Some motherfucker's been here. I think they died. Nope. Hold on. I forgot you were even a skin though. Okay, anyway. Before I was rudely interrupted, yeah, I find the console to be a really fun and smooth. It looks great. I know, I've heard that there is like a option or a setting that you can enable to give it 120 FPS, which, by the way, this bitch with 120 frames, oh my fucking god, that'd be an insane combo. Because this thing looks great. It's fantastic. It is a definite improvement over the Nintendo Switch, which is what I used to play on. And the streaming capability, great. The capability to mod and add things to your console and buy a ton of accessories that actually work with your console is a great feature. And the controllers are nice. These are some of the best controllers I've ever used. Like, I've played on PS4, actually. I used to play Borderlands with someone. We're not gonna. I've mentioned them before, and they're not the greatest person, but they did get me into Borderlands. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. But yeah, I like overall that the console is so smooth. The controllers are nice. What I was about to say, then I got sidetracked because ADHD, is that I love the controllers. They are a massive improvement over the PS4's controllers. Absolutely massive improvement. The texture's better. The shape is better. I especially like the textured grips that they've got. The texturing on the grips just really does it for me. Yeah, I hit myself with my grenade. Oh my god. Anyway, but yeah, the PS5 is nice. I'm just playing this. I'm not playing one of the PS exclusives or anything. I didn't feel like playing a PS exclusive. I kind of felt like playing a quick match to round off the night would be a nice idea. We'll spin around. Fucking god. Absolutely disrespected. But, yeah. So, let's get on to the games. Games-wise, it's great. You know, you've got the PS4 games that were already existent that they just ported over and made capability for, which is great. I absolutely love that. All the accessibility with the PS4 games is really nice. And I like that you can hook up a PS4 extended drive, because I have a 3 terabyte storage drive that I can hook up to the PS5. It's intended for PS4, so you can only run PS4 games through, but it's compatible with the PS5, which comes into my first complaint of the PS5 not having enough storage to fit half the modern games that you're playing on it. It's like, yeah, you can fit a few games on there, but overall you're gonna have to buy the really fucking expensive drive that's $130 fucking dollars. It is a 1 terabyte drive. You can buy it at Walmart or you can get a higher versions for hundreds of more dollars. You should just come with a like a 1 terabyte base, with all the heatsink and capability, which is cool. And I actually had an idea, and I don't know how well this would work, especially with PlayStation design and all that. But I like how the plates come off and all that, and that inspired this idea. The whole plates and all that, and how the plates come off and everything inspired the whole idea that I've got going. Jackass. Inspired my idea, like, instead of releasing a Pro... Well, you can release the Pro version, because we all know it's going to happen. But maybe just add the hardware and all the shit that you're already going to add to the PS4 Pro as a separate thing that we can just take the original parts that we have in our PS5s and put them into the base model and just get the hardware, kind of like modding and changing pieces on a PC, like adding a new graphics card or a processing unit. Look, I'm not the best with PCs, so if I get any terminology wrong, and electronics, if I get any terminology wrong, I'm sorry. I play the games. I don't fucking make them. I use the consoles and I play the games. I don't fucking make them, so I don't understand all the lingo and shit. But that would be really cool to, instead of having to pay tons of extra money to buy a brand new console, having the ability to change things out kind of like a PC, which I don't think that'll ever happen because I think it's too late for that, considering this came out roughly 2020 or something? Start of midpoint of 2020 or something? Not quite sure. I can't remember. Yes, 2020. I just can't fucking remember when in 2020. But I think that'd be a cool idea. Now, right, I'm gonna say, now, with the whole modability, and I mentioned the plates, that's another complaint that I have, is the plates. They trap these thick-ass white plates that you put on your console to the point that we have to go out and buy other ones that have a spot where your main fucking vent sits, because the console cooks itself. That's actually why you don't ever want to stand it vertically, because if it fucks, it can not only fuck with the, I think it's liquid metal cooling, or some shit, I don't fucking remember. I heard it described as liquid metal cooling, but I don't think that's true. And some part of the cooling system gets absolutely fucked when you stand it, and it advertised ways are straight up and down. Vertical, for nerds out there. Anyway, and it'll destroy the system and whatnot. The stand should be a bit more capable to have it sit in the way where it doesn't destroy itself. But another problem is, I've noticed that the console gets really, really fucking hot. Like, Xbox 360 hot. And that console came out in, 2007. It shouldn't do that shit. Like, dude, this is a modern console. And this is the same thing with the PS4, except the PS4 got so bad and would heat up so much, even on the Pro model, that people could install griddles on the top of these fucking things. Because they were flat-topped. Because one problem, whilst the cool design looks sleek and nice with the smooth design and all that, that's where it falls off. Right there is the plate. The sleek design, they went for more design, less, maybe our console trying to run these big old games like Cyberpunk and I'd say GTA, but that game's from 2013, looks like dog shit, plays about the same. But not the same as Cyberpunk. No, Cyberpunk actually does require some hardware to run, which is, but... And then let's compare it to the Series X. Let's compare it to their competitors. Say, the Series X and Xbox definitely hit the right spots when it comes to adding actual ventilation to their console. I think in that regard, Xbox is excelling because, you know, they've got thousands of little holes where their venting is, like, right fucking there on the top of the console. Hell, I've seen one in person, because my family has one, which, yeah, it's the family console. I haven't really had a chance to play on it, to say anything, but, yeah. Another thing I like about PlayStation is the speaker in the controller, though I will say the one problem with that is that when I try to play online with my friends and go, hey, yeah, I want to talk to my friends and use my microphone and whatnot, oh no, now I actually have to go in and plug in an external headset to understand them, because instead of playing through the TV, it plays through your controller, which really kills the whole thing right there, because it gets so fucking hard to hear my friends when they're like blatantly screaming into their fucking microphones. Like, they could be screaming straight into their fucking microphones, and it would just not work. So I'd say, whilst it adds to the immersion of a lot of games, like Cyberpunk, it's great. For the immersion in Cyberpunk, it's fucking amazing, because it really does play all the audios from the, like, calls and shit through there, which is cool. And do note, I will actually be complaining about a very popular game on PlayStation, which is kind of one of the only reasons why From Software fans will buy their consoles, which is Bloodborne. And this is more of a complaint towards Sony. I wanted to complain about this in a video about PlayStation, but yeah, the fact that they're gatekeeping such a great game, one, and for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, I understand it's technically to a degree, Sony's property, because it has the computer entertainment thing, but then again, Sony computer entertainment doesn't exist anymore. It's just PlayStation. So I don't understand why they won't give it back to FromSoft. But anyway, back to the actual console. Like, game's great, controller's great, and it's really nice. And the compatibility with all different types of hardware, like microphones and all that shit, absolutely phenomenal. And whilst it definitely needs more ventilation, as solid plates, like, literally, I just ordered, that they'll be here tomorrow, some black plates with a big old spot right where the fan is. And it's designed, I swear to God, if it's for the fucking Slim, I'm gonna be livid. Because I think it's disc edition. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's got the disc port on the side, okay, cool. But yeah, it's got all this cool shit that it can do, and it really does add a lot to the console, which I love. The console is great, the graphics amazing, though one problem I do have is this thing will like freeze up and nearly crash when I try to run fucking Minecraft. Now, I'm gonna say this, Sony has a lot of potential with what might happen. So, Microsoft has come out and said that they are considering stopping the Xbox line. Like, the Series X that's it. There's not going to be a single Xbox, and whatever game studios they have access to are just going to make shit for PlayStation and Nintendo, which comes into a gripe about Nintendo not actually making a console with any hardware. Hell, you can't even call it a console, it's a handheld, because the Switch has no right to ever, like, doesn't really have a right to speak up in the console wars anymore. And, like, so PlayStation has a lot of potential. The sad thing is, a lot of those games that they're going to get from Xbox, if this does actually happen, I swear to God, are going to get dumped into PS Plus. And I'm going to take this back to something that I heard. I learned about the PS3, and that's that PS3 was very good for online play, considering that they didn't have PS Plus back then. What I would say is that they need to go back to that idea of not having an online subscription or having to rely on that, because you know my opinions on those fucking things, but to be honest, you really shouldn't need all that. Like, or another thing is beat out your competitors in price, because I'm going to use Nintendo as an example of this. I guess I can use Xbox Plus. So, we're going to say the base price. I'm going to talk about the base price of Xbox. Like, Nintendo's $20, and you get a shit ton of classic games and all of that. All for $20 and online play and all that, which I like. I have Nintendo Switch Online because I have a friend I really wanted to play Pokemon and Smash Bros. With, so I bought that. But we're going to say, alright, so $80 is for Game Pass Gold. That's their special edition with all the exclusives and all the shit, online play and all that. For PS Plus, where you get the 3 monthly games, cloud saving and all that, is $80 fucking dollars. For what? Oh, we added exclusive details and a little bit of bundles. Yeah, Game Pass gets that for like $60 at a base, which is what you originally had. Then you upcharged it $20 for absolutely fucking nothing. Like, we are getting nothing out of the PS Plus subscription for its base prices. And then you go up a tier where you can start being able to play all of their exclusives that are all of their exclusives, if I remember reading correctly, because I actually did go look through PS Plus. I wanted to know why it costs so damn much. And I looked it up, and it's all the... And the second tier is like, yeah, you get all the fucking exclusives and shit that they've had over the years, like Bloodborne. Like I said, Bloodborne, the Horizon series, though if you're a PC player, you can now play those too. Unfortunately, if you're on Xbox, that's never gonna fucking happen, Chief. Or it might happen depending on if they stay in business or not. And they keep producing consoles. But yeah, and then for the last tier, you get all the classic games on top of all of that. And then that's like $162 for the highest bundle. And then it's $120. I want to say $126 or roughly around there. For the other one, I could be completely fucking wrong, but either way, that's too much. Like, you're charging too much for so little. Like, hell, if I'm paying you $162, at this point, you should just give me a lifetime PS Online. Because I'm not going to pay your ass that much money just to play some older games that I could probably just go buy your older consoles and, 1, play without a subscription, 2, run at their original state and run smoother on the original console that they were designed for. You know, crazy thought. Retro game shops exist, and it's not actually that expensive to buy your older console models, Sony. It really isn't. Hell, old Nintendo consoles cost more than your stuff does. And I've been to many. Actually, I think Xbox is even cheaper. Or, actually, no, Xbox is definitely more expensive compared to... And watch this guy rely on fucking Netflix to actually do damage. The amount of times I was dead on that fucker, though, whatever. I had a feeling that I was gonna miss all those shots and lose anyway, so whatever, I don't care. Also feels dead on. I have shift vision, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, like what I think you should go for is not like, oh yeah, let's charge PS Plus to play online. No, go back to what you did with the PS3. More people will be willing to buy your console to play online with their friends. Because then that singles out PC and Sony's PlayStation instead of, here, let's go pay for Xbox. Their subscription's cheaper. Or I'll go buy a PC. And hell, if I'm feeling really desperate and on a budget, I'll go buy a Switch. And then the $20 subscription. And by the way, that's $20 a fucking year. I'm comparing yearly prices. For a full year, I'm comparing yearly prices. $20 for a fucking year. Really does make PlayStation look like a fucking joke in a sense. Because, oh looky here, I'm paying a shit ton of money for fuck all. For bloatware and fuck all. Kind of like buying the next Call of Duty game. It's overpriced, it doesn't have much to it, and it's gonna be the same shit over and over again. And I've complained about the 3 monthly games before. It's like games no one's ever fucking heard of. I at least rant to myself as I walk home, but it's on the 3 monthly games. It's games no one plays or has ever heard of, and rarely is it one of your exclusives. Or it's the Resident Evil, or when Resident Evil came out, the remaster, which Resident Evil 4 sucks. I'm sorry to anyone, but it's a bad game. I don't know if it's exclusive to PlayStation or not. If it is, then they kind of wasted all their money on the licensing for that, because it's such a bad game. Like, oh, it's iconic and it's a horror game. Nice. You know what's also on the PlayStation and is gothic and eldritch horror with a bit of cosmic horror thrown in? It is a shit. It is like 12 times cheaper because it's an older game and has a really good DLC. It's called, I'm gonna say it again, Bloodborne. It's great. Oh, I don't want to play difficult games. Dude, these are the same people that I don't want to play difficult games. Dude, have you tried to actually attack shit in RE4? It's got an ADS for everything and miss every fucking hit or bullet shot. It's annoying. Because of the janky ass fucking control. But the PS5, it ran, but for the game, even if it was a shitty, boring video game, it ran really well on the PS5, and it looked just fine. Even if I did have a PS4 edition of it, it still ran fine. But there's so much with the PlayStation that's great. It's nice. It's the like I said, graphics are amazing. It loads faster. Like I said, the controllers are really nice. They're compact, and there actually are. So, something I've noticed, and they should use this more, is you can run your finger across this here, and in certain games it might actually do something. Absolutely fucking rarely will it do anything, but sometimes you can actually run your finger across here and it'll operate just the same. And the amount of accessories for this thing is amazing too. Like, I have a charging stand that I think I found at Walmart in the actual section. It's like Game Pro. That's the fucking brand. It's a PowerA. PowerA. This is a PowerA Nintendo Switch controller, but PowerA. This is actually one of their functioning fucking products, because that controller, whilst it has all the base functions of a controller, was advertised with remappable buttons on the back, which didn't actually work. I can show you here. But hey, at least I don't get scammed out of these $70 fucking controllers, which. Actually, I kind of like that these are only $70 compared to Nintendo Switch's Joy-Cons, which are $80. So you got that over Nintendo. You've got a lot of things over Nintendo, like speed, graphics. Most of your games have anti-aliasing and run at least 60 frames. But yeah, I'd say the PS5 still a 10 out of 10 console. Whilst a lot of the problems arise from the parent company that made it, or poor design choices, it's still a good console nonetheless. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and have a good one. I've been the Reaper029. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell. And thank you all for watching my stupid rating. But yeah. Share this around, maybe at Sony, or something, tag Sony in the comments or some shit, so maybe then they'll see this. But anyway,